Happy Sunday, folks. Hope you're enjoying your weekend so far. My name is Joel Duggan, and this is the Citadel. It's a survival Let's Play server where I hang out with a couple of friends from time to time and do geeky stuff in Minecraft. And it's a 4-year-old server, so there's quite a lot going on. And we've been in this build for almost a year. I'd have to go back and see when I started the farms way over there. But we've definitely been at this city since last December. So we're coming up on a year. We're now in October. Oh, I saw you. I want to know where that creeper went. I'm assuming he didn't get around the corner. Where'd he go? You saw him too, right? There was a creeper like right here. Oh, there he is. was a lot of mobs. Have to get Westhill a birthday cake? Yeah, maybe. So yesterday on the stream we were working on this area here, and we're just going to continue right along and work on the houses over here. Should be pretty straightforward. I'm just going to copy the style in what we did. I don't know why this one has a chunk cut out of it. I think maybe because I wanted to see more of that side, but we'll see what we can come up with. So we're going to need some dark oak. And some dark oak wood blocks as well. No. Sorry, that's a lie. We'll need stripped, but we need... Well, I guess first we're going to have to go grow some spruce trees. That's going to happen first. I don't know if that's enough bone meal. Probably not. And then we'll need something to get some scaffolding. That'll do. Imagining, hello, how's it going? We're doing pretty well. We've got to grow a spruce tree here for a second. I should have made that out of dirt. If you're wondering why I put it up here, it's because I don't want the podzol to spread everywhere. Oh, server troubles are no fun. That sucks. Hopefully it gets sorted soon. Frosty the Donut finally catching a stream. I think I've seen you here before. Just been busy. Smart way to cut down trees. Yeah, spruce trees are the easiest trees to manually get a lot of. You can do fancy tree farms, there's all kinds of stuff you can do, but ender pearls and bone meal. I mean, you have to have enough bone meal and enough saplings. Like, there's a certain amount of manual collection that you have to do first, but the tricky part is when you've already got a bush up there. Oh no, I was slow. That didn't work. Didn't have the bone meal on the hotbar. This will be better. Go. Yeah, Sundays can be quiet around here too. I've been slacking off. Saturdays normally I'll clean the apartment before the stream. You know, just do the whole Saturday chores, get them out of the way. That way your apartment is clean all weekend and you can just kind of sit around and relax. But I haven't been sleeping well, so I slept in yesterday and then I didn't have time to do much cleaning before the stream. And I also normally go out to the market. I need to get out to the market because I'm going to miss some of the fall harvest stuff, like apples and some other stuff that I want to get. Oh wow, that's a huge tree. Let's go here. Oh, never mind. I forgot the... hate these things. This is more leaves than you normally get. This time I forgot the tree. I'm trying to read chat and do this at the same time. Yeah, I've just not felt like going to the market the last few weeks, so I haven't been going. But I need to fix that. Especially now that it's not like super hot outside. In the summertime it can be quite warm. Even at 10 o'clock in the morning going down, but now it'll be nice and cool. Cool, and then we can remove this and it's like we were never here. And I think I started with 12 saplings, but I had like a stack. So it should be fine. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. Don't have room for them in there. I'm just going to turn some of these into logs right now. So we're going to need dark oak stairs, slabs, trapdoors. We're going to need spruce trapdoors, stairs and slabs. And also regular bits. And I'll need 3 beds. And I'm gonna go do, I think, 2 dark beds, 2 dark gray beds. If I can swing it. Don't remember if we've got the right. Thought I had a data pack on the server where you could dye wool like this. No, I don't. Okay, it's just 1-to-1. Dye first. Apples are all year round here for good people who actually eat them. What does having apples have anything to do for being good? Apples have always been, I mean, I can buy apples from the grocery store anytime I want, but locally grown apples, things from the Annapolis Valley, are once a year. Have you done any overhead screenshots of this place showing the whole build with shaders? Would love to see them if you have. I've got some, but I don't think... They always look a little bit funny because once you get up high enough, you can't hide the rest of the town. Right? So like there's always a big patch of like not finished somewhere. But only about here do you get to see the whole town. That's like at a finished state. So I'll get there eventually. Okay, so let's start with the one in the middle because that's the 5 wide, and it's 1, 2, 3. And there's a stair on the 4th one. And then it goes upside down stairs. And change the building material too, looks like. And then I think it was a slab. Trapdoor and a slab. This is going to be andesite and cobble. That's cool. I'm glad to see that you've taken some inspiration from Westhill. That's fun. It's always cool as a creator when people are inspired by what you're up to. Now, where on this one did we start? Right, so that stayed. What happened there? Okay. So we'll do the front of this one as well. And so this has like a forward facing. There. Another trapdoor. And then it goes back to be... Oh no, there's another forward facing bit too. Funny, even though this is a wider space, it's actually a smaller house. Right, so this is the one that has like a stack of regular blocks. And then it's an upside down stair and then a slab. This goes all the way out to here. And then it's just the reverse, I think. So then this is changed up and is the spruce. Is the minimap client-side mod? Yep. Yep, it is. Yeah, you don't have to install it on the server, which is nice. I think it takes the information that the server is sending you. It's slick. The only thing is that they update it all the time, and then they constantly bug you to say, like, have you updated to the latest version? And I'm not sure what they've changed, but it's this constant thing. I don't find it very helpful. Whoops. Speaking of not being helpful. Whoops. I think we had trapdoors in here too. Yep. Right in the middle. Don't know if they're here. I think they might covered up by the other roof. Oh no, they're there. This can just... No, that changes to spruce. Right, so... I feel like I did something different here. It's a stair in there instead. The bear, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Goes there. And then this roof just continues along like this, I think. Except for here. Yeah, this one wasn't built out at all. We did a lot more work on these ones before we put the roof on them. Yeah, folks, this isn't the place for tech support, especially for stuff that I'm not involved in. I mean, I'm sure that there might be some helpful members of the community, but I don't think Twitch chat is going to be the best place for that kind of stuff. Because it's so specific to what people's needs are. Don't know if that's how I did that, but we'll go with that for now. To go check. So that is, these are just solid blocks underneath the trapdoors. And then over here, there's a trapdoor in between, and there's also a trapdoor lined up with the left hand side. That's a good call, Elkhorn, actually. Yeah, there's a channel in the Discord specifically for that kind of stuff. And I feel like, I don't know what happened here. I feel like maybe something's incorrect. We'll have to see. I think what I have to do in here though is change the material to only be cobble and andesite outside of the corners. What's that? We can remove this one. And then also, that's the corner piece. So technically that would be stone all the way down. I don't know how we handle that in the other houses. Are they all stone on the inside? Yeah, but I wonder if that means that I messed up on the other side and that there's a part that's supposed to be... Okay, that's the difference. This one is indented here and it sticks out over there. All right, cool. Is this build more reality inspired or fantasy? Both. It's a medieval fantasy area. We're taking some creative liberties here and there. I'm not being like literal about where things are supposed to go and how things are supposed to be. I always quickly correct anybody in chat that says like, well, actually in this particular time, it wouldn't look like that. It's like, it's Minecraft. We've got so many blocks to work with. I'm not about to, you know, hamstring my creativity because it wasn't exactly like that in the 15 or 1400s or whatever. I don't know how to handle this. 1, 2, 3. That's gonna be brick. I guess because you wouldn't be able to see this from inside there or inside here, then that's probably what we did on the other side. we probably ended up with... Oh my gosh, the screen lag. I wish it would just stop. Unbelievable. There's nothing in this area. There's no farms running. Nothing. Cobblestone. Andesite. Well, we're not at a stage where we're adding any kind of bushes yet, for starters. Alright, so this is gonna go. Say that's pretty good, although we don't want it to be a mob farm. I guess I should just get some lanterns, save myself the time. How I did it in here, I believe. Yeah, lantern above the door. Or above the... Keep on thinking this is a skeleton whenever I walk in here. So this is going to be a problem right there that I did not anticipate when designing the stairs. So we're going to have to move, I think, the staircase over a bit. Which is too bad. Yeah, are people seeing this? Like, I don't know what is going on in this area, but I'm getting some major screen stutters. It's unfortunate because it's messing with my head. You played Red Dead Redemption 2? I have not, but I've thought about it. I watched Red Dead Redemption 1 be played, and I thought it's horse simulator. I'm not sure exactly how I would take to it, but there's also the Twitch compression and the screen lag. So unfortunately, you're probably not getting the same experience that I am. More than likely, it's worse on my end than it shows up on Twitch. So I mean, that's good for a viewer experience, but it's not good for me. All right, so this first one, it's 1, 2, 3, and then there's a stair going sideways. Now we have a different design over here, so I'm going to try and come up with something a little bit better. should give it a try. It's a beautiful game. It's the first game I cried at. Oh wow. What Rockstar Games always comes up with masterpieces. I don't know about masterpieces. I wouldn't call Grand Theft Auto a masterpiece. Popular video game, but I wouldn't call it a masterpiece. Speaking of Grand Theft Auto, I watched Free Guy last night, the Ryan Reynolds movie. It's on Disney Plus for people in Canada. And not the best movie. I mean, I like Ryan Reynolds, but I mean, it's not Shakespeare. I really enjoyed Jodie. I can't remember her last name. She plays the female lead in the show. She's really good. I enjoyed her contribution. But they don't. I find a lot of movies now these days, they just don't know how to end. Like, they had a really decent ending. It is a little bit standard Hollywood, but I would have been totally okay with that. And instead they went for this really weird, long, drawn out ending. And it was a bad idea. I really wish they hadn't done it. A little bit too stripey. It's too bad because it was, other than that, it was a good movie. A little on the nose for some of the comments on video game culture, but other than that. Right, so there's trapdoor and then trapdoor slab. It was entertaining film for sure. Like I liked a good chunk of it, and I wasn't expecting it to be the rom-com that it was. I really enjoyed. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but I really enjoyed the love story that they managed to weave into it. I thought was really well done. I called it. Like, I kind of knew what was going on. Thought the end modeled mature feeling management well. Yeah. Yeah. I know there's a lot of points where it was serious, and there was other points where it was really goofy. Like, Taika Waititi in it was hilarious. I mean, like, I normally am not a big fan of his style of humor. But he was good in it. Like, and it fit that caricature like perfectly. Like, obnoxious streamer turns video game mogul type deal. Like that, it was on the nose. I quite thought that was funny. But yeah, the rest of it was a little bit hard. We're gonna do temp block. Put that there. And I guess to another trapdoor. So the reason why I wanted this to go back is because I wanted it to not block the view. But the roof is going to do that anyway. So I'm not entirely sure best way to do this. Guess that's as good as we're going to get. Yep, I guess it's going to block the view. All right, well, so much for that. Which means this doesn't matter. Apparently they're doing a sequel. Really? Yeah, it doesn't need a sequel. That's the thing. Ryan Reynolds can do better things, I think. I think that one of the strengths that Reynolds has is doing like stuff that's more one-off. I wonder if we can fit a window in here. Probably a good idea. Devin Skirata, hello, how's it going? So for the windows, we've just been doing these. But for fun, we could shut one. And along here, it becomes trickier. I've got no idea what we're going to do out here for landscaping yet. A flower garden. No, no flowers. Not near the barracks. That's just silly, Cosmic. Flowers. Jeez. Who do you think I am? I would agree with that. Tak Shakisad about Ryan Reynolds. The thing about Ryan Reynolds, I think, is that he started off doing like really goofy, cringy comedy, but he's become a better actor than most people give him credit for. That really doesn't fit that well, does it? How did I handle that connection? Just straight stairs. And this just skips that altogether. Okay. Yeah, I guess that works. Just realizing I think I forgot to do the other side of the other roofs. As far as like the underside design. Yeah, I don't remember what I did over here. It's a double trapdoor. Double trapdoor, double trapdoor. GTA and RDR are totally different games. Before playing Red Dead Redemption, I thought it's just GTA with horses. I can sort of see that. I know that Red Dead has a decent story. I'm playing through Battlefront 2 right now. I was on a Star Wars kick. I've been watching The Bad Batch on Disney Plus, which I'm surprised I actually quite like. It's not nearly as kiddie as it as it's advertised. All right, so those are two. We're gonna need some like just regular old scaffolding here, I think. And then trapdoor. Now here we could have, I don't know how I handled that. Have this down here. I'm not sure what we did over on the other side, if we did anything at all. Oh yeah, okay. So we messed around with that. I'm missing a little bit of pieces here. We changed the design of that roof, I think. How does that have two? I think this roof is taller and skinnier on one side than it is the other. Oh, come on. Right, because this is a specialty situation because of the thing coming back in from behind, I think. And then I think what we'll do is have maybe that kind of a detail. I don't know if I like that. It's consistent, although now we need something over there. I just don't think I don't think I need it here. Here though would make sense. What do you do when you get bored of Minecraft? I play other games. There's nothing to say that you have to play Minecraft. If you're bored with Minecraft, go do something else. Doesn't matter. Play a game, read a book, watch a movie. Alright, trapdoor. Switch these around. I think the trapdoor goes there. Oh, no, that's wrong. Right. So I guess that's how we handle that particular roof, isn't it? Gonna have to add a little bit more in there. A couple of trapdoors. That's about it. Probably some full blocks there too. The roofs seem a little bit big when you look at them from this side. Oh, we have that wrong. We need to switch those around a little bit. Actually, I might like this side better. Yeah, I think I like this side better. I think they're the same on the front as well. But they work well on the front. They just don't work well on the back. Yeah, I can see why I did it on the front. Okay. So in here, I think what we need is a couple of full blocks. We'll do upside down stair. I think that's how I handled it. They're mirrored, but not quite. So it's a little bit tricky. All right, so this just goes in the middle. The trapdoor next to the end. That means you're a trapdoor. Probably not be. Just be regular solid block. Of course, the actor said he's going to make part 2 of Free Guy. I mean, if there's enough money involved, they always say yes. Yeah, I've never played Fortnite, but I got the references. I've seen enough of the games, and I've played enough of my own, video game experiences to get all the references in Free Guy. Like I said, they did a decent job, in terms of like making it feel like one of those free-for-all worst of humanity kind of video games, right? Oh, am I out of stairs? I'm out of stairs. Roofs in Minecraft always look big. Yeah, that's true. Okay, I think that's the roof done correctly. So that means we can go inside and finish up the rafters anyway. So those are dark oak, and I just start at the back, skip a block, and then hang a lantern. And then these are trapdoors. Oh, it's already done. Cool. These are gonna go because we're gonna need more room down here. Cool. Now these I hadn't mapped out what we were gonna do inside. Trapdoors, spruce, what are the other blocks? Strip dark oak and oak. Strip dark oak. Oak. Thank you, Cosmic. Yes, that is coming up. Witty Shenanigans, thanks very much. I like your username too, by the way. So that goes that way. This is another tall house. So maybe this one we'll try spice things up a little bit. Change the bed position. That's light gray bed, light gray bed. So let's do dark gray bed in this one. And let's go there. This one, let's go this way, maybe? And in this one, maybe there. Just to kind of keep it interesting. Something we discovered last time, which is cool, is you can make it look like the bed has a shadow if you put strip dark oak underneath it. So we'll do that now. I mean, it will have a shadow if you're using shaders, but if you don't, decent trick. And then we'll do the rest when we come back. So the rest is going to be a combination of oak, stripped spruce. I need some more stripped spruce here. And trapdoors. and dark oak. And we might as well grab some mushroom blocks, powdered concrete, gravel, and I've got cobble. Get some more cobble too. Cool. If you're new to the stream, I take a break about once an hour. I usually just go pour myself another cup of coffee, grab a snack, that kind of thing. You should too. It's Sunday. Do whatever it is that you're enjoying. And we'll be back in about 5 or 6 minutes. All right, back again. Devin Scarata, thanks for the gift sub. Going out to what I assume is pronounced as Lucas. Make sure you connect your Discord and your Twitch, Lucas, so you can join us in the Discord in between streams. And Chiro, thanks for the follow as well. Appreciate it. Taksha, we were talking earlier about podcasting stuff. You're asking about downloads and whatnot. The Spawn Chunks has got over 1.1 million downloads now worldwide. So there's a really good chance that if it's an English-speaking country, somebody has listened to it. We're not in the billions or anything, but like there's a lot of downloads. It's a little over 13K a week, I think. But I believe, and we'll be going over this with our patrons on the quarterly hangout in the next couple weeks. But I believe that #1 country is America, followed by the UK. Then I think Sweden or one of the other Norse countries is up there. And then I want to say India is below Canada, because Canada is in the top 5 or 6. And I don't think India is that high. All right, so what are the other things we need in here? We need tables, chests, and chairs. We'll have to make all of those. And chests and barrels. Chest, barrels, doors, crates. So we'll go with probably the door opening on this side. And then in here we can go with probably, let's go with a chest at the foot of the bed. And then we'll put the table over here. And the chair behind that. I think that's it. Looking for this. Good enough. I just forgot the candles. Don't have a single in-person friend who plays Minecraft, otherwise I would have recommended you. I can always recommend, you know, people, you know, via text message or tweet or stuff like that. Just don't advertise in other streamers' channels. It's the only thing we don't like. It's kind of rude. But other than that, you know, unless the streamer says, "I'm looking for a Minecraft podcast. Does anybody know one?" Then sure, you know. But don't go and advertise in other people's streams. Other than that, though, feel free to tweet, you know, DM, you know, that goes for other Discords as well. Don't broadcast in other Discords. What was I looking for? Candles. They are out here already. It's like we used them all up. We're low on string. Cool. I'd call that done. Let's put the door on this side again. People wondering why I'm deciding on what side to put the door. It's because when you walk in, I don't want the door to be in your way. And with the bed over here, you're going to want to go this way. So it makes sense to have the door open over there. Now here we can do, I think, some fun stuff. We can do maybe instead of a table, we'll do a crate. And we'll do, I need to go get another couple of chests. I think we can put the chest there. Have it not be too claustrophobic, although maybe crate has to go at the base of the... That still feels a little bit claustrophobic, doesn't it? What if we do this? Move this over here. That's better. And then we'll just do a chair with no table. A little bit different. And what could we put? I guess maybe we need another armor stand in here. Probably a good idea. And we'll need iron. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Anonymous gifting Shepherd 4711 a tier 1 sub. Thanks, Anonymous. Appreciate that. Make sure you're connecting your Discord and your Twitch, but Shepherd, I think you're already in there. I'm not sure what's happening next, Taksha. There is a Western zone planned, but I don't think I'm going to be the one building it. I think that's Alistair and Maccast. thing. Armor stand. I'll go make the armor. I like the sounds that they make. Very cool. Now we need armor stand book. This is easy. All we have to do is make it invisible. Pretty straightforward. I think we're also supposed to lock it as well. Let's do the other one. Apparently they lag less when they're locked. Whoa, crap. That's not what I wanted to do. All right. Nudge. Y plus 8. Oh, hold on. Styles. No gravity. Nudge. Plus 8. Plus 8. And then lock. Go. Do. Sleep, please. Go. Okay. So we did armor. So now I want to be careful not to destroy the thing underneath it. But I also want to make sure we've got some texture in here. I don't think this will fall. No. I don't want to sit in it. Yeah, I think that works. Another one done. Boink. Now we had a lantern hanging at some point. I used the middle one here. Hang stuff. But I've already put those things on it. I wonder if we could hang a lantern somewhere around here, or maybe we could just put it on a wall. That would probably be the better way to have a lantern outside. We'll have something there. I'll change that to be a brick wall, maybe. Same thing here. We'll have the door open on this side. Probably switch it this way. And let's put the table in the corner. Chair facing this way. Although, maybe we should put the chair and the table in front of the window. I liked it better in the corner. Do we want both of them open? Maybe we want both of them open. And then I guess that's really it. Kind of want to try to sneak a barrel in here, but this feels very empty. I feel like a barrel in here would be very crowded. I guess maybe we can create some texture here to kind of liven it up. Sure. Call that done. Oh, I put the door on the wrong side. There we go. Now, I wonder if I could do a little bit more with these doors. I grabbed some stairs, because there's mostly andesite over them. If we just remove this, I feel like that's going to add a little bit more to the overall design. A little bit less flat. No, I have a Bachelor of Fine Art degree. I've never done... I took maybe one computer programming course, but it was like a elective. It's like a side course. I didn't... No, I'm full-time illustrator, content creator, podcaster. And really, they kind of split the difference now. I want to say podcasting and illustration are my two main sources of income, but then streaming is the distant third, I would say. All right, so outside of adding a little bit of cracked stone, I think we're pretty good. And while we're here, I think what I'll do is I'll add in cobblestone along here, just because I know this is all going to end up being stone and pathway rather than coarse dirt. Take this down. Oh, wait a minute. We might need this. That needs to be changed, and this also needs to be cleared up a little bit. Hey, Natimo, how's it going? Things are going well. We've got the build, or the third. The three other houses are all put together nicely, I think. No more grass. Let's put this back. I'm gonna keep those, keep those, keep those. Probably put away the cobble. We need more cracked stone, apparently. Well, that's something we can handle here. Thought I had a lot more than this, but maybe I've just used it all. Don't remember how many things a block of coal does, but we'll find out. Probably only 8. Did you get the name the Citadel from the college? Nope. We were coming up with ideas for the Citadel Cafe, which is the podcast that I started 10 years ago. And we wanted to do a podcast about sci-fi and fantasy entertainment. Myself, my buddy Chad Merlin, and Peyton Francis. And we are all from Halifax, Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. And the term the Citadel has like a bunch of different uses in sci-fi and fantasy. You've got the Citadel in Mass Effect. You've got the Citadel, or what looks like a Citadel, in Thor. Not what's it called? What's Thor's home planet that was destroyed? I don't remember the name of it right now. But there's the Citadel in Game of Thrones, which is like not necessarily a city, but it's meant to be like it's the place of knowledge for all the maesters. Asgard, thank you, Elkhorn. Yes, so Asgard has like a citadel on it. There's a citadel in Neverending Story. There's Isengard is sort of like a citadel in Lord of the Rings. Anyway, this Citadel has both a fantasy and sci-fi entertainment sort of vibe to it. Also, there is Citadel Hill, which is home to the Citadel Fort in Halifax. So you can look that up on Wikipedia, and you can see that there's a fort right in the middle of the city from the early 1700s, I think. Anyway, so it was a fitting name for the podcast. Plus, the Citadel Cafe was available across all social media, so like it was very easy to get. So it made sense to just do it that way. And then the Citadel server that we're on now, it was named after the podcast because of the community that we already had kind of focused around it. And then on top of that, we also had the same kind of plans for sci-fi and fantasy builds and creative freedom and that kind of stuff. So it made sense. Made sense to do it. I think I can do this road without moving these shulker boxes. But I'm also wondering whether we should focus on maybe the pathway too. Get some stairs. Some slabs. Oh, I forgot to put candles down. We've got 2 in there. Let's let's put a single candle on this. And let's do like 3 candles on that. Or actually, here we go. Cool. So I'm thinking this should probably be a stair. And this is more than likely going to have to be revised. Need some more stone bricks. So this unfortunately might have to move. We might have to bring this up by 1. Yep. Oh, actually, I think I like that better. Having like a stair on the turn. That's cool. Okay. This feels very strange. Very pointed at your head. Maybe this should be lower. Yeah, I like that better. Now the walls that we've been doing have been all, I want to say andesite and stuff. So if we look over here, roughly learning about Nova Scotian history. Oh, that's cool, Natimo. What history course is that where you're learning about Nova Scotia? It's cool, don't get me wrong. Okay, so it's stone going down into andesite. So we have to switch. I think I'd have to go get some natural stone in my inventory. Basically, I want to kind of sort out this top part before we go down and do any more like texture work. I want to know how the road's going to connect to this, basically. So let's go with all stone. Here, I think we can probably bring the building down. I can probably do the same thing here. I was going to make this a cliff, but I'm sort of thinking that it might be better, because this is still pretty high off the water. I think we're going to have to turn this around and have this come down the other way, which means that the easier thing to do here would be to bring that right down like that. And get rid of that. And then we can probably just continue a little bit of this andesite. And even maybe a little bit of cobble. Maybe not there. That works okay. So yeah, I think we're gonna have to have wider sort of situation here. Now here, the tricky part is I don't necessarily want there to be a railing, because it's too narrow a spot, at least for now. We'll figure out the rest later. And I think that's about it. Oh, a little bit of andesite in here, maybe. I think I'm happy with that. This feels a little bit tight here. So maybe what we're going to have to do is punch this back. Plus, that means that there's going to be less banging your head this way. think that works. We'll texture this and make it better looking as time goes on. This is probably going to come in like this. That might end up all being road, we'll see. And then same thing here, there's probably going to be, imagine there would be a stair here. If not, these would definitely be slabs. More than likely, actually, this whole thing would be slabs. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Then these ones, we've been using cobble and gravel successfully. Although, maybe here we'll use andesite. Yeah, I feel like I need to maybe define the road better before we start getting into what the path looks like. Oh, sweet. Right, what don't we need? We don't need those. Oh, those don't go there. I need a little stone wall. Because I think this might look good here. I wish there was a way to have these like stand on their own sometimes. Do you have plans for what you want to do with the next work on next in Westhill? Let me just take a spin here. It would be logical. I want to try and finish off this side of the river. I would imagine the next thing after the barracks are done is going to be the landscaping on this side of the river. Like we've got some nice stuff happening over there, right? So I need to do all of this all through here. So that's probably the next thing. And also this is unfinished. Really, I guess at that point we kind of skip the river, right? Like the outside east gate is not finished, but it's also not terrible. Like this all needs work. So does this. But this is fine. I need to look up that like a sign mod to see if there's a mod that we can get for signage and stuff. Yeah, like this feels pretty done, you know? Like, I mean, I still like walking through with shaders better, but yeah, I don't think there's anything else that needs doing over here. But like all these little touches that we took that stream to do, like this kind of stuff, I really want to do this kind of thing over there. Obviously stuff like that in there. We also have to finish the inside of these towers. I'm not sure if you noticed earlier when I was in that one. I'll just jump across here. But like, this is completely just empty, unfinished, doesn't connect. There's room to do it. I just have to work out the staircase to connect up here so that we can get up into tower, right? And then I think, yeah, this continues and walks across the bridge, right? So yeah, connecting these things up to the towers, having access to the towers in here, right? Like that's going to be something I'm gonna want to do. So that will complete. Those are the next things probably. It's just the integration of the two towers here into the walkway, and then the staircase and stuff like that. But if you talk about next after this area, probably, yeah, I would say either landscaping outside here, or if I'm in a building a house mood, probably this white building right there in the middle is probably something I'd want to try to sort out. I'm interested to see how this other building is going to turn out as well. I like the idea of these square kind of like pillar things, so it almost looks like a small castle. Like I like this design. So I'm curious to see how that's going to look when it's done. And I've got no idea what's going there. So finishing that stuff would be good. And then again, I've got no idea what's happening here. Something has to go here, obviously, but this is also going to be a fun build with a tower in the back. That'll be fun too. For those, I think I need to look up some reference. Like I think I need to jump onto my Pinterest account, you know, and start looking around at things. But I'm liking the way that this feels now. I do like the deep slate accents and stuff. I'm torn about doing some other accents along here, but like I don't know whether it would look good to have stuff like this. I think it just looks too fancy. If it was just a straight fence post without the connection bits, it would be fine. Right, okay, so now we need to, I guess, kind of bust this cobblestone up a bit. Trying to make it look so that the cobblestone starts to slowly take over the things. Maybe it's a little bit more subtle here. Astro Mango gifted a sub. Oh no, wait. That's not you. That was somebody else. That was anonymous. I apologize. Astro Mango got their 12-month badge. I see. Very, very cool. Thanks so much for subbing for 12 months. That's amazing. Oh, thanks, Cosmic. That's really nice of you to say. Master Crunchy, good to see you as always. Yeah, I've got some higher tier badges to sort out as well. I've got there's a badge for every 6 months. So like there's 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, all the way up to 4.5 years. I don't quite have a sub that's been around for 5 years, but that's coming up soon. So I need to get those out there. So I'm trying to just kind of like, unfortunately the cobble looks like it's having a bit of a pattern here. See how I've managed to have like all these diagonal lines? I'm trying to fix that. Slowly I'm trying to work in more cobble. Plus we'll have some opportunities, I think, to use some andesite because we've used, yeah, a little bit of andesite down here as well. So we can grab some of that. Not a lot, it's just like every so often. Where it makes sense. Plus, I feel like we can probably get away with some andesite slabs. Loop 42, yep. It's the Citadel server. I think I want it to get a little bit rougher. So here we can probably go with like an andesite stair. That does two things. One, it looks like a worn down stair, but two, it also kind of calls your attention to the fact that there's a staircase there. We could also do that. or do a slab. I think I like the slab better. Nope, we're going to do a stair. Question is, do we do it that way? Yep. Ah, that sort of feels in the way, doesn't it? So I feel like here we can probably do more cracked stones, and then maybe yeah, I feel like that probably works out pretty well. Don't want to use andesite because then it'll look like it's part of the building. And we could probably do let's actually do the cracked on top. Oop, did not mean to do that. Cool. Okay, it goes there. I guess we can probably just fill this in. Oh, wait, no, that's going to be all. And then here, it might be worth cutting this back a bit. Maybe making this look more like a rock. And I don't know what we're going to do here to get that transition to look right. We'll have to revisit that. This is also going to be far too tall, so we're probably going to bring the land up to at least here. We'll figure out the rest later. Oh, thanks, Lou42. Yeah, we've been working on this since December of 2020. So, on a quick fly around, there's a fair amount going on. But there's lots of details, which is why it's not bigger than it is. And I wouldn't want to make it bigger than it is. My gosh, it would take me forever. Another break time when you're ready. Yes, Cosmic. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'd say... I don't know what we're going to do there. Yeah, I think we're gonna take another short break to try to wrap up the project. Don't know what to do about these dirt patches. I kind of feel like they're gonna stay, but we'll see. If you're new to the channel, I take a break about once an hour, so I just step away, reheat my coffee, I'll grab a snack, that sort of thing. You should too. It's Sunday. Enjoy whatever you're doing, and we'll be back in 5 or 6 minutes. Hey, CJ and Obsidian Clad Fox are here. How's it going, Obsidian? Haven't seen you in a long time. Been a while. Hope things are well. Hope things are well. I have path brain. that's what's going on here. I have path brain. Now let's try not to think too hard about this. We need more blocks. Mariners have been making the playoff push. Twitch time has been replaced with sport ball. All right, people can like sport ball. I'll allow it. I'll allow sport ball fans. I don't dislike sports. I just don't follow it closely enough to have like a team, you know? I think that's pretty good. Maybe one less here. Nope, that has to stay. I feel like I might have overdid it a little bit on the cracked, so I think we might be able to put in a little bit of smooth stone, or like regular stone rather. And I feel like maybe here we can put just a regular cracked brick back in. What do you think? Does that feel like it slowly gets more broken up? Oh, thanks, Obsidian. Appreciate that. Yeah, the sports that I like watching are football. I'll watch golf, but that's because I used to play golf, so I can understand and appreciate it. I can also understand why people that have not played or don't like it don't like it. Like, it's not the most exciting thing to watch. But I do watch it. A lot of that has to do with watching it with my dad, though. More of a thing. I don't know where we are on the outside of this. Let's just pop upstairs quickly. American football? Yeah, like NFL football, not soccer. Soccer I find boring. So let's carve that out. Looks like this is mostly andesite. So we'll just do that. And we'll tweak it later. All this because I want to bring the floor in. Right, that's the outside, so don't mess with that. I'm gonna have to do some online troubleshooting or offline troubleshooting to find out why my game is so laggy. I'm getting so many stutters and stuff. It's really, really hard on the head. It's been a problem this entire stream. I don't want to get too crazy in here because I don't know where the staircase is going to be. So we'll just put down a few little bits. Just to say that it was at least thought about as a texture. We'll put the torch back. Only spot I watch more often than others is figure skating. No idea why. I don't ice skate. I just really like it. Hey, you know what? If you like it, you like it. You know, both my mother and my sister were in figure skating. Like my mother used to do like, not competitive, but she would participate in big events. And then my sister took it as like a sport as a kid. So they watched it all the time. It was always on the TV growing up. Obsidian Clad Fox, the frustrating part about it is that it comes and goes without any changes to the computer. The only thing that's changed in the last few months, obviously, is Minecraft has gone to 1.17.1. And it seems to have come back with that. So that's a pain in the butt. But I don't really think it's something that I can like make a bug report on because I feel like it's not something that everybody experiences, right? I feel like we're going to switch that around. Now this would probably normally be just stone right up to the edge. So I'm wondering here if we went like straight natural stone. That would make a difference. It would mean removing this one. And it would probably mean slab. Yeah, like there's nothing in here. There's no farms. And like, it's specifically when I run and move, which is like all the time. Don't particularly like that there. Sort of feels like a gutter, that's why I like it. And it would be the easiest thing to figure this out. So I don't think I like this pop of brown. Yeah, I think I like that a lot better. Makes the cobble seem funny though. To work in the cobble in other places. The biathlon, sweet Sandy. That's an interesting choice. You don't hear that one a lot. I'll watch the Olympics. I guess I should say, like, I really like that level of sport. But I don't have cable TV, so like sports for me are it's really hard to come by. I feel like this would probably be filled in that way, and then these would just be like slightly more subtle stuff like this. Do I have any strip dark oak? Yeah, see, that's probably going to be better off as just a straight up stone brick. A little bit of dirt. It's the kind of place where like you want to put something, but if you put anything like a barrel, then it's like it becomes entirely in the way. So I don't know if I'm going to put stairs here. I might. I think that might be a cool thing to stick there. Have a separate little dock area in addition to this. Morgan Chip, subscribe with Prime. Welcome on in. Thanks so much for the support. You can connect your Discord and Twitch accounts and join us in the Discord in between streams. And this is spooky. Why does that go sideways? Let's not do that. This has a little area here, so I think this is supposed to have a floor. would be my guess. We'll leave this here just because I'm sure there's probably important. Right, so that comes up to the wall. So we'll have to figure out a way to get a staircase into this space here. Shouldn't be too hard. I think we've got enough room. I guess we'll just leave this the way that it is. Sure. Could be rooms to put things in, etc. And I guess we'll do a little bit of texture in this room too, just to kind of say that we did it. Oops. And maybe a little cobble somewhere. Yeah, like, can you see that? I wonder why that's happening. Right here. I wonder if there's like a glitch in scaffolding or something. I think that's it for this area. I don't want to do the stairs yet because I don't know what I'm going to do down there. And that's going to be like an entire project in itself. So Cosmic, you were asking what's happening next. I think now that we've done this area, there'll be a little bit of lighting that have to happen across the wall here, but I think these two stair pieces, it's more than likely what is going to need to happen next. Let me just land somewhere where we can see what's going on. Yeah, so now that we've done all of that other side, I'll start probably with this section and figure out what we're going to do riverside there, and then probably do the same thing over here, and then we'll figure out what happens in between. I wouldn't mind taking these all the way down straight into the river. I don't know. I guess we could cut the river a little bit. We could reshape the river a bit and have this be like completely non-accessible. Maybe take this rock and lower it down and have like it be a big rock here, and then have the river kind of come right up to the buildings. I'll probably pull this design down. Maybe we'll do a little bit of deep slate as we get closer to the river, or at least tuff. We could get some tuff in there. Oh, because if we do it into the river, if we pull the design down into the river, then we can treat it like... Oh, did we do it? I thought we used mossy cobble over here. Yeah, we did. Mossy bricks and stuff. So we could probably do something like this over there. And then add in a little bit of greenery or something. That could happen up this side. So there's a bunch of stuff here that I think is going to happen, but it's important kind of like... I feel like when you're doing these kinds of things in Minecraft, you want to establish what's happening up here, and then you want to establish kind of like what's happening down here, and then you can connect them. That's often how I do these kind of things, is that I'll finish like right here. You'll see I really like the curvature of the river, so I don't want to alter the edge. I know the edge is pretty much going to stay the same thing. I might lower this bank a little bit, But now that we've got moss blocks, we could get rid of all this ugly dirt and turn it into very nice green looking stuff. Maybe add a rock or two or something like that. We've got some rocks down there. We've done nothing down here either, but I've been waiting to finish both sides of the river before we do any kind of like bone meal seagrass stuff. Am I using Optifine at the moment? Yes. Because if I do not use Optifine, the game is unplayable. But I need to do some offline testing and see if I can switch over to sodium. But the thing with sodium I find is that sodium as a mod, I get like terrible frame stutter. Like it's worse. So I'm not sure what's going on with the frame stutter and stuff, but yeah, it's not pleasant. I feel like we're missing a trapdoor, which I don't have in my inventory. Do that right now before I forget. Say that goes right in here. Cool. So I think what we're going to do today is the same thing we did yesterday. We are going to switch over to Satisfactory, pick up where we left off in that game. But these are looking pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with this. It looks odd from every other angle other than like when you're right in front of them though, I have to say. Like this feels right. Feels very homogenized, but I mean it's barracks. Like it's meant to be just bare bones bunks for soldiers, you know? But I feel like we've got a good feel to it. There's a little bit of dirt. We've got a lot of stuff going with the road. I wish there was more of a combined texture, like a block that had more, had dirt between the bricks. That's something that I really like about Minecraft Dungeons. Is they have a lot of floor textures that look a little bit more interesting and worn and stuff. But anyway, I'm going to sleep here before it gets too dark. So I think what we're going to do today had Pinky and the Brain vibes. Yes, exactly. Well, we are taking over the world in Satisfactory. I mean, that is a fact. That's what we're doing. So yeah, today we had a really, I'd say, successful go at finishing off and mirroring what we had over there as a design. They're interesting enough that they're not boring on the roofs. It feels a little bit repetitive through here, but there's not much you can do with this Minecraft palette. Like there's just, you're kind of stuck. I might try to work in some other blocks into the road here, but it's just, it's a difficult thing. Otherwise it starts to get really, really convoluted. I did want to make it rougher. The idea was to try to attempt something a little bit rougher than I normally do. So that's, I guess, progress. If you've enjoyed this, make sure you leave a follow. I am going to switch over and continue to stream, but sometimes people end up taking off. So check out the Spawn Chunks podcast is at thespawnchunks.com. Citadel Cafe podcast is at thecitadelcafe.com. Check out Joel Duggan on Twitter and Joel Duggan on Patreon. And those are best ways to, one, find out when I go live, and two, join the community. If you haven't already used a tier 1 or a prime sub, then check out Patreon. It's another way that you can get into the Discord and do all that kind of stuff. That's gonna be it for me, folks. I will switch over to Satisfactory and see everyone else there, I hope. Bye for now.